Welcome everybody to the Virtual Air Race Series demo as part of the Beach Blast 2020 Air Show. My name is Joe, aka the most fun pilot that Jock has ever flown with, aka Chuck E. Cheese, aka you should have got my autograph race on one because now I charge for my brand. To the right, my man, the myth, the legend, Jock, aka Altitude and Airspeed Unrestricted, aka you're cleared to land, nope, go around, climb to 7,000, frequency change approved. It's our distinct pleasure to introduce the two guys in a bike known as the Racers, Sky Boss. In today's show, you get to see some of the cleanest, fastest pilots that this series has to offer. They're going head-to-head in a single elimination battle. As with our race series, each racer is flying the identical Zipco Edge 540, modified only by livery and user setup. The true uniqueness and skill of each pilot can be seen in the way they attack these side-by-side courses. We begin with a chicane, transition to a loop, followed by a 270 course reversal, and a final chicane. The race flown today will be what I'm calling the 810 Gatling style of racing as we throw pair after pair on this course until we get a winner. Now we transition over to Cujo as the F-16s give our intro. Cujo, Sky Boss, you're on.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the 2020 Virtual Beach Blast Air Show. I am Cujo, Virtual Fighting Falcon 8, the team's dedicated announcer from Las Vegas, Nevada. It's my pleasure to present to you a newly formed virtual aerobatic team, the Virtual Fighting Falcons, utilizing the official Eagle Dynamics F-16 module. This team of highly motivated DCS pilots has joined us today, showcasing their inaugural appearance in 6 red and black F-16C Block 50 Fighting Falcons, pushed to the edge of their operational envelope during their full-length demonstration profile. Flying in formation today is Fighting Falcon 1, Ghost from Seattle, Washington. Fighting Falcon 2, Wolf Blitz from Nashville, Tennessee. Fighting Falcon 3, Hornet from Seattle, Washington. Fighting Falcon 4, Jax from Houston, Texas. Fighting Falcon 5, Century 8 from Dayton, Ohio. And Fighting Falcon 6, Phoenix from Panama City, Panama. Inbound from directly in front, coming at you, your 2020 Virtual Fighting Falcons!
What a tremendous demo by the F-16 Fighting Falcons. Let's watch now as Pare and Hornet run the side-by-side right course, left course, air race, race course. We have chicane, followed by a loop, followed into a 270 course correction, into a hard right, and then we go back to the chicane, ending in the final finish. Jock, this is an impressive, very tight race course than what we're used to.
Yeah, this is a condensed course today, Joe. It's going to be fun to see these guys go head-to-head in a little friendly competition. We're going to see the top of the brackets go through this and demonstrate their skills, their agility, their ability to fly the Edge 540. This is a very capable aircraft, and as you can see, this course is very tight, little room for correction or error.
Absolutely. These racers, top 10, as you talked about, Jock, these racers are the best that we have right now currently in the race. We're facing race number 3 at the end of the month. Qualifying is going to be the last, previous to last weekend of the month. The race is the last weekend of the month. this is the time to get involved. For all those you who are watching in DCS, www.airrace.com. This is your time to sign up, get in. It's not too late. It is very possible to get into the top mix based on the point spread. We'll talk about that a little bit more as we watch the racers line up here today. Give a little bit of demo of what we're talking about in the Air Race Series.
Yeah, Joe, it's an accumulative point series, and we've done 2 races of the overall 8 series races, and we're just getting started. There's been quite the shakeout. We've seen some guys race in the first race that didn't race in the second race, and it's going to be interesting to see how everybody follows suit in the coming races, Joe.
Absolutely. We got here Tactical Panda coming up from South Africa. He's number 9 currently in our race boards. We got race number 3 coming up at the end of the month. 2 races in. Tactical Panda sitting at number 9 currently.
Yeah, Tactical Panda and Shadow. And Shadow is one of the inventors of this race series. He's been epic in developing the Virtual Air Race Series. And we're going to see him run the course here with Tactical Panda. It's going to be a close race.
Absolutely. And Shadow not far off of Tactical Panda. Shadow sitting at number 11. Watch them as they come over the beach. They're going to coincide. They're going to be right on each other as they turn smoke on and they enter through the first gate. The first gate, 200 knots. You can't exceed it as they go through the chicane. Left, left, hard right into the loop. The loop is really what's going to separate people here, Jock. There's different ways you can attack this loop as you go into the 270. This is the second way that we see racers differentiate each other. They can do a flat line as they go back into the race, or they can do a clover leaf as they enter in the second chicane. This is an intense race. It's very quick, as we talked about, but a lot of gates, a lot of maneuvers very quickly.
Yeah, Joe, for those of us new joining the series, seeing this for the first time, these guys have to enter the gates at a certain height and not exceed that elevation for the race gates, and have to enter each race at 200 knots, as you said before, keeping level throughout the course and not exceeding the elevation. And we're going to run each racer through each side of the course, red and blue, and we're going to go to the race official for the course time here.
Let's go ahead and go to course official for Shadow and Tactical Panda's time.
Shadow across the line with a 42.12, Tac Panda with a 40.27.
42.12, 40.27, Shadow with the 42.12, Tac Panda with the 40.27. Tac Panda getting a little head. Here we have Hope to Fly coming in on the blue course on the left. We have Skid Animal, a.k.a. Rob, a.k.a. the racer formerly known as Skid Animal. If you follow the course, he's on the right side. Now let's watch as they drop in.
Yes, Red Aviation, Skid Animal, Rob, whatever you want to call him. He's got lots of names. It's going to be a lot of fun to see these guys run the course. And let's not skip over the fact that Tactical Panda just ran a 40.27. And that's a pretty blazing speed for this course.
That's a great point, Jock. Earlier in the practice, we saw people running in the mid-40s. Tactical Panda coming out right from the gate with probably the fastest time that I've seen. I don't know if it's the fastest time that you've seen, Jock, from watching the practice runs.
Yeah, that is one of the fastest times indeed. So it'll be interesting to see how much these guys are pushing it on their first race coming through the course.
Watch Hope to Fly there. Hope to Fly goes vertical on his upline as he goes into the chicane real tight. He's got a definitive edge over the racer formerly known as Skidamino, a.k.a. Rob. Let's check in as both racers go 45 on the vertical. Let's go to race officials for the time.
Close one. Hope with a 40.91. Rob with a 40.57.
40.91, 40.57. I mean, Jock, let's get rid of 41. That's not even on the table today.
Yeah, I mean, we watched these guys practice. They were going high 40s, mid 40s in practice. They were holding back the whole time, Joe. They're throwing the kitchen sink at this course, and we're seeing low 40s for everybody racing so far.
Unbelievable. This is one of our favorite races here as we line up Brandon, currently number 1, flying the aircraft known as Voltage. Number 2, VH Rock. We call him Rock Solid, flying the aircraft re-entry. Brandon's on the left. He's going to be on your blue course. Rock is going to be on your right. He's going to be on the red course. These guys are the top air race pilots that we have currently in the series. Watch these guys run.
Joe, you mentioned it. Brandon and Rock Solid, they practice together, they train together, they compete together, and Rock Solid and Brandon have nothing but love for each other, but they do like to talk trash, and this is going to be interesting to see who pulls out the lead in this first race.
Absolutely. Both Rock and Brandon going with the same loop. If you look at their smoke trail, Brandon's doing what we call the IAC competition loop. That's a full loop. Brandon's going low on the 270, keeping it tight. He's almost graying out, Jock, as he comes in to the little jog left, little jog right into the chicane.
Graying out is what we're doing in the box right now, Joe. I've had a few drinks and we're feeling good.
Absolutely. Why not watch them both go vertical? Let's see. Brandon and Rock side by side. Time's coming in from the race official.
Brennan with a 41.3, Rock with a 43.8.
All right, Brandon with a 41.3 and Rock Solid with a 43.8, two of the fastest times we've seen so far. Brandon pulling out the win with 40.13. As you know, Joe, we're talking about this. These guys are going to run both the red and the blue course before we get the eliminations going. So these guys have a chance to redeem themselves in the second round. But right now, Brandon pulls out the lead on Rock Solid.
Absolutely. The next coming through, we got Razor sitting on your left side. He's on the blue course. Kirby sitting on your right side. He's on the red course. Razor, number 4 in the standings right now. He's fast, flying the SpaceX. We got Kirby flying Vector Racing. He's number 8 currently in the standing. Again, we have put forward to the air show today some of the fastest racers that we've seen in the series so far.
You mentioned it, Joe. We call him Razor Sharp, and Kirby is one of the fan favorites. He likes to have fun on the course. He usually gives us a little bit of a show, and he does like the Spice Girls.
He does like the Spice Girls. North London, basically Scotland, is what I've heard from him. He doesn't even like to associate with London. Watch him come through that bottom of the loop. Now he's doing a different loop, Jock. He's going low. He's pulling to the top of the race. It's almost like that loop is multiple segments for him. He's pulling vertical. He's reassessing. He's coming down in, as opposed to Brandon and Rock, where we saw that loop as one solid movement.
As you said, Joe, there's energy management. It's all about energy management on those courses. How much do you want to pull that loop tight and bleed your speed to keep a tight race line, or do you keep a smooth, fluid motion, wide turn, maintain your speed, but you fly a little bit further distance through the course?
Absolutely. Let's go to race officials now for the times for Razor and Kirby.
Kirby with a 40.97, Razor with a 41.78 with a miss gate.
Wow. Jock, miss gate. We very rarely do we see these guys push a miss gate unless they're trying to make a statement.
Well, let me tell you what you want, what you really, really want. You want Kirby running a 40.97 on his first run. Kirby is blowing out the expectations of mid-40s. None of these guys are in the mid-40s. They're all low 40s. Everybody's giving them their best on the first run of the day.
Here we go now. Back, we mentioned that they're going to reset so that no racer can say that one side was faster than the other. We're coming back to Shadow. We're coming back to Tactical Panda. They're going to switch sides now. We're going to total the time of their races, and then that's how it's going to get our move forward time here, Jock.
Exactly. Tactical Panda coming into this race with a 2-second lead over Shadow on that first run. We don't want to hear that one side was faster than the other side. No excuses. We're going to see if Tactical Panda can beat Shadow for a second run here.
Absolutely. It's important to note that everybody watching on DCS, you can still get in the Edge 540 Series race right now. Go to www.airrace.com. You can get points for just qualifying. Qualifying is on the 22nd of this month. We got the race at the end of the month. This is the time, the 29th is on the race. This is the time that you can stack points right now. You can get the A mains for 25 points, 24 points. You can get the B main for 16 points, C main for 8 points. There is times for you to get into the top 10 here, John.
As you said it, just qualifying and then qualifying, also completion points. You don't have to be the fastest in your bracket. You complete the race, you get points. These guys are running an accumulative point system race, and all these guys are trying to run the full series, and there is time to get into this race and have us announce them.
Absolutely. Let's check with the race officials on that one. That one was tight.
Panda with a
Tactical Panda.
40.78. Shadow with a 40.94.
Okay, so we had a 40, I believe 78 for Tactical Panda, 40.94 for Shadow. Tactical Panda went faster on both runs there. Tactical Panda moving in through the next round. Shadow has been eliminated. We love Shadow. He is epic in developing the Virtual Air Race series. We hate to see Shadow go, but Tactical Panda takes the lead going in and advancing to the next round.
Absolutely. Shadow slowing up on that one. That's unfortunate to see. Here we have Hope to Fly now coming in on the red. Hope to Fly is going to be on your right side. Skidanimal, a.k.a. the racer formerly known as Skidanimal, a.k.a. Rob, a.k.a. Flying for Spread Aviation. He's going to be sitting on the blue course. He's going to be on your left side. Let's remind the viewers that he was sitting at a 40.57. He was faster than Hope to Fly by a good bit.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We're looking at ROB Rob with Skidanimal taking on the course. Hope to Fly looking to pull out something faster than this first round.
Here we go. It's a two-turn in. This is a solid loop. We're calling it the Hot Wheels loop. A lot of different ways you can do that. On the left course, we have Skidanimal. He's pulling a little tighter. In the aerobatic world, the ISC world, we call that an E. He's basically E in the loop, basically pulling, taking the first part as its own maneuver, taking the top part as its own maneuver, taking the bottom part as its own maneuver. It's a three-maneuver row.
Yeah, as you said it, there's two ways to fly that loop there, Joe. They can pull tight all the way through the course, sectioning that loop into several sections, or they can delay that turn and make it a more smooth transition, less corrections throughout the movement, and maintaining their energy but flying a little bit further line.
Absolutely. Let's go to Hope to Fly, Skidanimal, race officials. Let's get times.
Hope to Fly 40.17. Rob Skidanimal with a 40.50. Consistency is king. Rob with two 40.57 and a 40.50. That'll move him on.
Oh, Rob getting the consistency points with a 40.50 on that second run, even though Hope to Fly beat him on that second run, Joe.
Absolutely. That's where we see the consistency coming in. Hope to Fly had a really high time, 40.91 on the first run. 40.17, he picked it up. Should have stayed in 40.17 the entire time.
Okay, we got Brandon on the blue course, Rock on the red course. These guys are good friends, good competitors. There's been a lot of trash talk. Brandon took the lead in that first one with a 40.13 versus Rock Solid with a 40.38. And this is going to be it. We're going to see what happens. They're going to throw the kitchen sink at it, Joe.
Absolutely. They're tight on each other. Watch them go smoke on. Now, Brandon has a different route than Rock. Watch him on the loop. He's going to delay his loophole for about 2 seconds. He's going to pull to the absolute edge of that edge 540 till he almost grays out as he comes back through. He's going to hit the 270 low. He's not going to pull up into a clover leaf. That's a straight up steep turn on the 270. You're going to watch as Rock comes a little higher in his steep turn. That's gaining a little bit more speed, but not keeping the speed that he originally had. Energy management all the way through.
Exactly. And you say graying out, Joe. Can you kind of expand on that term? You've done a lot of flying in some jet aircraft that can pull capable Gs. When you were talking graying out, what exactly do you mean by that?
Absolutely. That's a great point, Jock. Let's go to Rock Brandon with the scores, and we're going to talk about graying out that these guys are experiencing.
Rock with a 41.5. Brennan with a 42.28. And a missed gate penalty.
Wow. That's a problem for Brandon. Normally very smooth throughout the course, a really relaxed guy. Here he hits a gate penalty, getting 42.28. Gate penalties are typically 2 seconds here, Jock. You got to think that he would have put down an impressive time if he had not missed that gate.
Yeah, we talked about it beforehand. A missed gate is critical in this series, and Rock Solid going 40.38 and then a 40.15 is going to beat Brandon, who was the clear favorite going into this race.
Important to note, he is number one currently in the Edge 540 Championship Series. Let's watch as we put in Razor and Kirby now. Razor's going to be on your right side. He's going to be on the red. Kirby's going to be on your left side. He's going to be on the blue. Jock, Going back to your point, the gray out is when the body starts to transition away from oxygen, putting oxygen back into the organs, away from the head. You visually see a gray tunnel come in before you pass out. I have seen the gray tunnel in an F5, not all the way out. That's for reputation. Make sure that's on record.
You and I both know Brandon's dad, Mark Johnson. He flies a jet, and he has bragged about putting somebody in the gray out position in the back seat of that Robo.
Absolutely. Let's watch as we see Racer and Kirby come through. They're almost neck and neck now. Razor is going to be on your left side. Kirby's going to be on your right side. Watch Kirby go high in that 270, really keeping the momentum and the energy in the airplane instead of G-locking it as he goes tight like we saw Razor do.
It's hard to hate on Kirby. Kirby is one of the fan favorites. He's a lot of fun. He's very light on the course, and he just put down a solid time. He went into this race as a lead. Let's see if he pulled it through in the second race.
Absolutely, Jock. Let's go to race officials. Razor and Kirby. Let's get the times.
New records, 39.99 from Razor and a 39.93 from Kirby.
30.
39, Jock.
What are we talking about? We're going into the 30s now? In the whole practice session, people hitting mid-40s were looked at as favorites, and now we're into the high 30s with both Razor and Kirby. It is for show. It's a minimum race, but Kirby just told us what he wants, and he laid down what he really, really wanted.
Absolutely, Jock. Shannon, from Shadow and Panda, we have Panda moving forward. From VH and Rock, we have VH Rock moving forward. Rock Solid beat out Brandon. Unbelievable. Brandon catching a gate. Kirby and Razor. Kirby's moving forward. Hope and Rob. Rob is moving forward. We got Rob Panda and Rock Solid. Kirby sitting in the top 4 as we move into the semifinals.
I'm gonna tell you about all these guys here. Brandon was the favorite coming into the race. He is not going to live this one down. VH Rock, one of his training partners, one of his good friends, just put him out in that first round. Brandon is not going to hear the end of this, and he is not going to take this lightly.
Jock, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to let him hear the end of this. I'm going to discord him constantly until the next race. Here we have Panda now running the blue course. We have Skidanimal, a.k.a. the flyer formerly known as Skidanimal, a.k.a. Rob. He's going to be on the red course. Rob's going to be on the right. Panda's going to be on your left. This is a good race, Jack.
Oh, yeah. The original Romeo Oscar Bravo Rob taking on that course. This is see how this is going to play out, Joe.
Now, both these guys have very similar tactics as they come into the loop. You're going to watch as they both watch their smoke run. They basically make the exact same loop. So it really is the pilot's ability to trim this airplane, cut gates on the corner. That's what separates them.
Yeah, if you're looking at this for the first time, it almost looks like these guys are running a mirrored course or a clockwise and counterclockwise course. The courses look mirrored and almost perfectly in sync with each other.
Absolutely. We saw Tactical Panda hit that first loop a little earlier than the flyer formerly known as Skidanimal. Watch them come through the final chicane. Skidanimal's very tight. Watch as they go 45. We're going to check the score from the race officials. You got to think that Skidanimal took that one. Let's check.
Skidanimal 40.67, Panda 40.35.
Jock, I've been wrong once, I've been wrong twice, and here I am wrong again for the third time. Here it is, Tactical Panda taking a 40.35. That is, I think it should be known, that is side by side. He's doing time after time. He's impressive.
Tango Papa taking it to the limit.
Next course, we have Rock Solid, a.k.a. VH Rock. You saw him earlier in the air show running the Virtual Horseman in the P51. He's sitting on the blue course. Razor's sitting on the right course. This is going to be a good run here, Chuck.
I'm glad you mentioned that. If you watched earlier in the air show, the Virtual Horseman, VH Rock taking it to the limit. And we like to call him in the Virtual Air Race Series as the unicorn. I
That
don't
paint
think he
scheme.
likes that term, but look at his paint job. He looks like the unicorn out there.
Absolutely, they're side by side. We're getting a great view by the aircraft circle around. Hormet's running the aircraft right now, the helicopter, giving us a great vantage point, low level, as he circles counterclockwise, getting a great show of rock solid right there as he turns in towards the chicane.
Look at that tight G pull back to the course, Joe. He kept it really tight on the course. He maintained his energy, pushing that to the limit. And it'll be interesting to see if he got any buffeting or any stalling of the aircraft as he pulled that really tight through that last chicane.
Absolutely, watching both cross the finish line. Let's go to race officials for the official time.
Wait, what? Rock 42, 43, and Razor with a 40-30.
We got Razor Sharp with the 43, Rock Solid
Wow.
with the 42-43. Razor Sharp's going to go through to the next round. So that's why we call him Sharp, Joe. He is sharp and consistent every time through the course.
Here we go now. They're going to run both sides, different sides. Now, Tactical Panda is going to be sitting on the red Skidanimal, a.k.a. the racer normally formerly known as Skidanimal, a.k.a. Rob. He's going to be running your left side on the blue side. Again, important to know, www.virtualairraces.com. You can sign up. You can race. We're only 3 races in the series. The 3rd race is coming on the qualifying is the 22nd. The race is the 29th. There is a chance that anybody who signs up on the digital flight simulator, they can get into this race. They can easily sit top 10. Do not get discouraged from these racers right here. You can absolutely qualify and get in the race.
If you're having fun with this just demonstration of what the course is and what the race series is, Joe, why not sign up, have some fun, get announced by you and I, and come in and compete with these guys. It doesn't take much to get into this course. All you have to do is qualify, move on. You gain points for qualifying, you gain points for completion, and we're going to just have some fun the rest of the series, the rest of this year.
Absolutely. 6 races, 3 race series. Let's watch as we go to the end. Looks like we have a DNF on there. Let's check with the race officials. Did we get a DNF? Tactical Panda, let's get animal.
Believe there was a DNF. Skid Animal had a 42-65.
Tactical Panda, the racer formerly from Russia, then eventually from the South African Republic.
Yeah.
Originally from Russia, though. He doesn't like us to talk about his Russian origin. But unbelievable disqualification on him. Obviously, Skid Animal is going to move forward. Fantastic racer out of Rob. He's a good one. He's definitely an announcer favorite. You could be an announcer favorite too. www.airraces.com. Get in there.
Oh yeah, Rob now 4265 and Tactical Panda. He doesn't like when we talk about his Russian roots with his RSA flag that he flies behind his call sign. But he's out. Rob's in. Rob now. We're moving on.
Next race coming up, we're going to have Rock Solid, BH Rock from the Virtual Horseman. You saw him in the P51. He's going to be on the red course on your right side. Razor is going to be on your left side. We call BH Rock the Unicorn. Look at that paint scheme. He designed that livery by himself. It is impressive, and we love it. Watch him pull through that lead.
We're running a condensed schedule here, Joe. We're running a shorter course, but if you've watched through the series, every race, Rock Solid comes through. He has a lot of fun setting up his aircraft, getting his rig comfortable, getting it set up for the race. He usually throws a few rolls, a few loops in there. He's a crowd favorite. And then you got this black skiing coming up here with the SpaceX shout out for the opposing racer. It's going to be a good race.
What I love about him is Rock coming with the airframe of re-entry SpaceX. Watch him do that 4-point roll as he turns up the crowd. Let's check in with race officials. Let's get a time on that run.
Rock with a 42-47, 1 miss gate. Razor with a 39-96.
Wow, 39.96, no miss gates. Rock Rock solid. See you later, buddy. We'll talk to you in the after party. That was a good run there. Unbelievable. Didn't get it done.
We loved Rock, and we were hoping he would take it through after taking out Brandon, but razor sharp, showing why he has that razor sharp call sign. He came through with a 39.96, one of the fastest times of the day. We're talking high 39s, Joe. We are getting it on going into this final race.
Here we go in the battle for third. We got Skid Animal flying for spread aviation. We're trying to see if Rock is going to get the courage to come back up. Rock is going to be on red. He's going to be on your right side. Skid Animal from spread aviation, he's going to be on your left side, run the blue course. Rock just got crushed, hit the gate. Now he's got to turn around, Jock, and put down a solid run to get third.
Yeah, these guys are pushing it to the limit, and even though they're running a virtual air race series, it takes a lot to reset and get your mind focused going into a second race right after getting eliminated from that first race. And Rock Solid has his work cut out for him as he tries to take the unicorn through the course and beat out his opponent.
Watch as they both go through the loop. This is going to be almost, Jock, as we've talked about, a simultaneous loop. But on the left side, Skid Animal, he tightens it up. In the competition world, the IAC world, the United States, we call that an E. That would be a disqualifying loop. But in the air race world, that keeps momentum into the airplane. Unbelievable. Oh, no, we might have had an issue as Skid Animal came around there. Let's watch as Rock heads towards the finish, hit into the in the chicane. Here we go, both going vertical. We might have a little bit of shuffling coming from the race officials. We could probably rerun that race if we come back in. We could probably rerun that race.
Yeah, let's go to the race officials. We may have time to rerun that race. It sounds like there was a little bit of a snafu with the race start there between Rock Solid and his opponent, if it was Tactical Panda or something.
We're waiting race officials down. If Gurnelli, one of the race officials, is going to decide if we're going to rerun that run. Again, we may have had a time critical issue by tenths of a second. Could have been Tactical Panda in it. Here we go. Now we're gonna run the finals. We're gonna talk about third again, Jock. That's not forgotten. Razor's gonna be on the left side. He's running the SpaceX blue. Skid Animal, he's going to be on the right side. You're red. He's running spread aviation.
Razor's on the blue course, Skid Animal on the red course. It's going to be interesting to see how these guys pull out. They're very similar. Their lines, they're running a very close course side by side.
Now, what's interesting about this is Razor is sitting at he's deep in the mix now. Skid Animal, Rob, he's from the USA Spread Aviation. He's 20th right now in our race series, Jock. That's of 2 races so far. We got the third race coming at the end of the month. He's 20th, and here he is challenging for first in the Beach Blast 2020 Air Show.
This just goes to show that nobody's out of this race, Joe. We're talking tenths of a second with penalties. Anybody can win any race. This race series is up in the air for the rest of the season. We're encouraging anybody out there who has interest in racing in the Edge 540 race series to get involved and sign up and start racing.
Absolutely. Let's check in on race officials on our final. Here we go. Race officials, Razor, Skid Animal. What do we got on times?
Skid Animal 40.25, Razor 39.78.
Important to note, Jock, they're going to run twice now. Razor has a chance to switch and go on the red course. 40.29. Razor did 39.78. That's impressive.
Yeah, we're talking just a little over a second there. Razor putting down a solid time in the high 30s. We've seen some other races race in the high 30s, but that is really the pinnacle of racing at this point in this series.
Here we go. We're going to run Racer Skid Animal, a.k.a. the Racer known as Skid Animal, a.k.a. Rob. They're going to run inverse courses. Razor's going to be on your right. He's going to be on the red. Skid Animal, Rob, he's going to be on your left. He's going to be on the blue. Watch them dive into this course. They run, Jock, a very similar race line we talked about in the intro. The uniqueness of this course is how the racers choose to attack the gates. They don't have to attack the gates in the exact same way. They could do a clover leap, a steep turn 270. They could do an E loop. They could do a competition circle loop. Whatever they feel is going to get them the best time through the gates that are published.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the different lines run by the different competitors here, Joe. Everybody's taking a little bit slight different line there, but always pushing it close towards the end of the finish gate. And I haven't seen any race go more than 2 second difference between these races.
Absolutely. Watch them pull vertical. May have had a DNF. Let's check in with race officials.
Razor was across with a 40.04.
Let's get a time on Skid Animal. I don't think we fully heard if there was a DNF there. Let's get an official time with the DNF down to race officials.
Yeah, I hit the water. Yes.
Okay, so we just heard it from race. Skid Animal hit the water, DNF. Razor moving forward. He had a 39.78, a 40.04, both solid times. I don't think Skid Animal could have had what it took to pull out that race anyway if he hadn't hit the water, but Razor moves on to the final there.
Absolutely. Razor, number one, a.k.a. Razor Edge, number one in the Virtual Air Race series for this Class 21. Well done, Razor. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not hearing that we have time for third. On behalf of the Bars family, our racers, Jock, myself, thank you all for watching. We're looking forward to seeing you at the next race, August 29th. Remember, qualifying August 22nd, www.Virtual Air Race Series. You can sign up at virtualairrace.com. Everyone, please be safe, happy, push that limit, enjoy the Beach Blast 2020 Air Show. See ya.
See ya.